So if you have ever tried to do something new or something different from what everybody else is doing, or have simply decided to stay true to yourself and to your values, then you have definitely been criticized before. Now, criticism is something that can be very difficult to deal with. There are a lot of people who have completely broken down. Others have given up totally, and others too don't know how to move on because they don't know how to handle the various views and opinions that people have about them. Now, even though criticism is something that is very difficult, like I said, to deal with, your ability to handle it very well and deal with it positively is a very important skill that you need to be able to move on in life as a small beginner. Criticism can come from you or can come from others. It comes from you, that is when you want to do something and you compare yourself to other people and you look at what you don't have compared to what they have, and you start being negative towards yourself, and instead of you to encourage yourself, you start telling yourself negative words that rather hamper your spirit and makes you feel as though you don't amount to anything. You better change that approach. What you have to do is to start encouraging yourself. Tell yourself that you can do it, you are capable, that you are created for this, you are made for that, you can do it. And that even though you don't have all that it takes to do what you have to do, always keep a positive mindset that you will get there one day. But you have to work hard, you have to work on yourself. Whatever that is necessary for you to do now, you've got to do it. The kind of criticism that comes from others can either be constructive or destructive. Now, it is destructive when it has a very adverse or negative effect on your self-esteem, and the person who is giving that kind of comment is thoughtless about whatever he's saying and just wants to make you feel bad, wants to make you feel down, and wants to make you feel as though you are unworthy. Now, whenever you come across such a comment, you just have to close your ears to that. It is unhealthy and it will never build you up to be able to become who you want to be. You've got to know that whenever somebody is so negative about you, most of those comments are reserved for them. Sometimes they feel threatened by your creativity or your courage, that even though you don't have everything going well perfectly for you, you didn't remain down there, but you started doing something, and it judges them in a way. And instead of them to encourage you, they would rather want to discourage you. They would rather want to hurt you with their comments or talk in such a way that is harsh towards you. Flee from such people. Close your ears to whatever comments that they make. It is unhealthy for you. The other form of criticism is constructive criticism. It comes from you, somebody who is genuinely interested in you, somebody who is as passionate as you are about the thing that you're doing. It could be your mentor, your parents, your teacher, or a friend, a good friend who is genuinely interested in you and wants to help you. Normally, this type of criticism is designed to bring out your mistakes, of course, but then help you to improve upon them and do better next time. You've got to embrace this kind of criticism. It is good, very positive and very healthy for you. Even though sometimes it is very hard to handle and challenges your pride, you just have to embrace it, learn from it, and it will help you to do well. Not all kinds of criticisms are so negative. Learn from the positive ones and you know how to do better. It's a great skill that you need as a small beginner to be able to do great work. Whenever somebody is criticizing you, it is a way they are communicating to you that, hey, you are doing something, that you are not just idle, you are doing something totally different from the status quo. And it is a way of their communicating to you. If you are able to listen and able to pay attention to what they are saying, of course, if it is negative, run away. But if it is positive, you've got to be able to listen. Most of the big companies that are doing so well in our world today, it's not because they just started perfectly. They started with imperfections, and now, based on the way people have been giving comments about the products that they give, they are able to design better products, and today we are proud of them. If you also want to go far in life, you've got to know how to sift the kind of comments that comes to you. When people tell you that you are doing great work, it is a way they are telling you to continue that which you are doing. But if they tell you something that is not so nice, something that you don't really want to hear, something that challenges your ego, something that challenges your product, you've got to be able to receive it but learn from it. One thing you should know is that as human beings, we are capable of making mistakes. We are not perfect and we don't know everything, so sometimes we make mistakes and you have to admit your mistakes. Proverbs 28:13 says that a man who never admits his mistake can never be successful. If you really want to be successful, then you have to admit that you are imperfect and you make mistakes sometimes, and you have to learn from other people. You have to listen to what people say. Sometimes we close our ears to some of the things that people say about us when it is true. You don't have to let your pride stop you from learning from others. Sometimes you really have to calm down and listen to the positive things that people are telling you. Don't make yourself so big that people are criticizing you, talking about you, and you don't want to learn anything from that. You will do a great disservice to yourself if you always ignore what people are saying. There are some people who are generally so critical and very negative about everything. You don't have to take such people so serious. You just have to learn to understand that that is their nature, and whenever they are abusing you by their words, or they are trying to make you feel so bad, you just don't have to take those words to heart, because if you do, they can create some kind of resentment in you, create anger in you, and sometimes make you feel very unworthy. You just have to learn to deal with such people in such a way that it will not destroy your relationship with them and others. If you have the courage to address it to them, do so. But if you think you can't, then find a way to disassociate yourself from such people. And I think it is really going to be helpful to you. There will always be people there to talk about you. If you do good, they will talk about you, and if you do bad, they will talk about you. But generally, there is some iota of truth in whatever people are saying. The best thing you should do is to be able to pick out the truth about what people are saying and learn to handle it in such a way that at the end of the day, it will be beneficial to you and to whatever it is that you're doing. Don't overreact, don't insult back, don't shout, or don't be so hard on yourself. Don't let criticism stop your progress. Don't let it stagnate you. Rather, let it be a stepping stone. Let it be a way by which you improve yourself. There are a lot of great things that you can learn from what people think about you. And always remember that anytime people talk about you, it definitely means that you are doing something. It definitely means that you are trying, and it definitely means that you are not just sitting down idle. This is Jill Inspires, and I hope that you have learned another new thing today. Hope to see you again soon, but till then, remember to take good care of yourself. See you.